Here's an idea. Let's set aside 15 million Pfizer vaccines, and let's give them a weird name, like hydroyivers. Should send them to doctors, veterinarians, acupuncturists, etc. Borrow marketing campaign called Hydroyivers, the secret COVID-19 cure the government doesn't want you to know about. Welcome to r/YouKaren, where we judge Karens on the internet.
As a Christian, I'm supposed to love my neighbors. The Bible says that being gay is wrong.
Oh my gosh.
My next door neighbor's daughter is a lesbian.
Oh no.
I'm gonna stand in front of their sidewalk, in front of their house, and scream homophobic slurs in the name of Jesus.
Okay, what the heck? Alrighty, first of all, please don't ever do that. Second, why does it actually matter so much that people are homosexual or bisexual or whatever? Because, like, honestly, I mean, it's their beliefs. It's not like it affects you in any way. I hope. Our next post is by Patricide First. That time I drew a weapon on a road-raging Karen. A few years ago, I, a 32-year-old male, was driving down my rural 2-lane highway with my kindergartner daughter in the back of the way home from picking her up from school. It's only about a 2.5-mile drive, which means I was on the road for a grand total of 3 minutes. Halfway through the drive, this car comes out of nowhere and begins riding my bumper. Now, I'm driving a little fuel-efficient Yaris, and this car has a real big black back window, and this woman was driving so close, at 60 miles per hour, mind you, that I couldn't see her headlights or even the front half of her hood. I ignore her gestures and erratic driving because why should I care? I got a grand total of maybe 90 seconds left before I'm home, so F her. This would have been fine, except I came over a blind hill and saw a school bus coming to a stop with a "Stop, there are children on the road," bright red flashing lights on, and that big stop sign that extends onto the road is in my lane, maybe 100 feet in front of me. Now, I didn't slam on the brakes, but I'll be the first to admit that I did brake rather quickly because, kids on the road. She very nearly hit me when I braked, and while stopped, I could see her in my rear view, screaming and punching her steering wheel. Now, I have definitely got my eye on her. After the school bus pulls away, I proceed down the road and turn into my driveway, which is a quarter of a mile long and goes through the woods and stops at the end of the driveway to collect my garbage can from beside the road. That's when I hear tire squeals, and I look up to see that she has stopped in the middle of the highway. What? She makes eye contact with me and shrieks,
"My husband is going to slit your throat."
Alright, whatever. I move my trash can as I'm getting back to my car, and she slams her car into reverse. Internally, I groan because this is about to become a big issue. I yell out at her, "Don't you dare come onto my property, just go away." Inconceivably, she shrieks,
"This isn't your property."
She puts her car into drive and quickly accelerates directly at me. I know from my security training, I'm a veteran, that a motor vehicle, without a doubt, is a deadly weapon, and this weapon has now, 1, voiced an intent to kill me or have me killed, and 2, is now pointing what is essentially a deadly weapon at me with the safety off. Playtime is now over. My daughter from the backseat of my little car is terribly exposed should Karen choose to ram us, so I decide then and there that that's not gonna effing happen. I draw my little 9mm in the low ready position and with my free hand point back at the highway. I boom out with my old super serious NCO voice, "Stop or I'll shoot you!" Literally half a second away from me raising my weapon, which means about 1 second away from discharging the weapon. She slams on the brake, her eyes wide as golf balls. She quickly reverses back into the highway and squeals out,
"I'm calling the law."
Law? Side note, I know the rules. The moment her tires left my property, I holstered my weapon. Whatever. I was already dialing 911 when she reversed, so she parked in the middle of the highway and eventually went and parked down the road from me. To make a long story short, the cops arrived, and after verifying that this is my property, I am licensed to carry a weapon. They tell me to have a nice day. The Karen apparently told the cops that I was swerving around and trying to prevent her from passing me, and that she never tried to drive up my driveway. She also told them that she didn't think this was my property because,
what country boy drives a gay little car like that?
what? Her words, not mine. Solid logic there, Karen. During the ensuing investigation, a detective asks her, "So, why'd you drive up his driveway?" And she replies,
I don't know. I just got lost in the heat of the moment.
Boom, she just admitted to trespassing and road raging without knowing it. The detective calls me and asks if I'd like to press charges, which I decline to do so. I don't care about her. I just want her to F off and leave me alone. I tell the detective as much, and he closes the case. The end, I reckon. Wow, attempting to murder someone while, this reminds me of, like, this story I read, probably not on Reddit, but it was about some person who tried to pepper spray someone for no reason, and then got mad when the other person pulled a gun on them. This is kind of similar, but, oh my god. Our next post is by Overfishy. Nothing like some sweet instant karma. A little backstory. I'm a security guard in a football stadium. Right next to the security room lays the tickets office. Part of my job is to keep a roundabout next to the stadium entrance clear, because a lot of cars and trucks goes by. Some people try to park on the roundabout. We tell them to move. They move, and that's about that. Today, the office sells tickets for an upcoming game, so it's busier than usual. A car approaches and parks on the roundabout. No biggie, a guy comes out of it. Let's call him Kevin. I ask Kevin to move the car. He ignores it. I ask again this time, explaining there are trucks that come by with his hand. He hand gestures to me to F off and walks to the tickets office. I walk there myself, ask the cashier to deny the guy's service until he moves the car. When he approaches the cashier by cutting in line, she tells him to move his car. He scuffs, throws his ID at the table, and asks for his ticket. I try once more to tell him he should move his car. He again ignores. I just return to my office. After a few minutes, I see him walking back to his car angrily, giving me stares all the way. When he enters the car, he starts to yell, flipping me off, spitting to my direction, all the good stuff. I just wave at him and, using our megaphone, tell him, "Stubbornness won't help." He keeps on giving the good stuff, and I repeat the sentence. After he drives off, I made sure he didn't get the ticket. It's not much, but it felt like instant karma.
Entitled Karen doesn't recommend blank. I went to the blank shop, and the girl behind the desk was extremely rude when she informed us before we hardly made it through the front door that we had to wear face masks. I asked if this was due to the governor's order, which have been rescinded, or the business rules. She told us that it was a shop rule that all customers must wear a face mask. I'm not medically tolerant to wear a face mask, which I tried to explain to her. When she told me that it doesn't matter because all customers must wear a face mask. At this point, I had to leave, and I never felt so discriminated against in my entire life. To not be able to receive a service from a business due to not being able to medically tolerate a face mask is discrimination. This is why all orders from the governor and health department have always included a medically tolerant exemption to avoid discrimination lawsuits. Unfriendly atmosphere.
uh, anyways, yeah, Karen, it's clearly it's private property. They can tell you that you can't come in if you don't have a face mask. It sucks, but that's the rule. Rules are rules, Karen. Gotta follow them.
Seriously? A vaccination clinic at a farmer's market? How desperate are you to do a pop-up clinic at the farmer's market entrance? Seriously makes me sick to my stomach. There is zero informed consent going on. I listened to every word that was spoken to participants. This is getting carried away. Enough is enough. At the end of the day, it's your choice, but for the love of God, why does this have to be shoved down our throats at a farmer's market?
How much you want to bet this entitled Karen also shoves down other people's throats the fact that essential oils are a million times better than vaccinations? Alrighty, so Blank uploaded a file to school board, I guess.
Important. See attached letter that was provided to us by the Blank family. Thank you very much. Exempting their children from being masked, tested, temperature taken, vaccinated, quarantined, isolation, etc. Correction. I was just advised that the family was given a religious exemption after 3 attempts to present other forms asking for religious exemptions. When this form was presented, they said they would have their lawyer look at it. After that, they were told they were given a religious exemption. You'll need to fill in the necessary information as it relates to yourself as parents and your children, as well as the name of the principal, school nurse, and school as specified on the form. This form also needs to be notarized, so do not sign it until you have found a notary and can sign in front of them. Do not forget to keep a copy of the signed and notarized form for yourself. Please let me know if you have any questions. Liability for all forms of medical treatment.
So there's a Word document, I guess. That's pretty funny. Okay. These Karens are giving me a headache. I am going to sleep after I end this video. So, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching, and peace.